We decided to do the book of Hebrews for our sermon series when I was sitting around the table with a couple other pastors, and we had said, hey, what have you been preaching on? What have you been preaching on? And none of us dared tackle Hebrews. It's a challenging book. Anybody who studies it knows that it's really challenging. Although the Christology in the book is amazing, and I want people in my church to love Jesus. And right away, your book comes in to be helpful because in the first section of the book, you've plotted how different commentators and commentaries address the issue of audience, time, why was this book written, and maybe even some suggestions about who wrote the book. And so from the get-go, this has been helpful as I started to look at commentaries and Bible background books as well. I found that the second section was really helpful, not only because it gave us an overview of all of the Old Testament references, but even how those Old Testament references worked together. You've taken all of the different quotes, keywords, and even some of those extra biblical sections and put them together in a format where you can track it very easily. The priesthood section was really helpful. I remember looking at that in great detail, and then tracking the idea of the Son, because those are two major themes in the book of Hebrews, is that Jesus is the Son and he's the priest, so he is this royal priest figure. And that was all traced out in your charts really in a helpful manner. So you're synthesizing a lot of different people's research and making it so I don't have to read 20 books. I can read a couple pages in charts and at least get a grasp on what's the overall conversation. I do thumb through here and see, okay, which chart's going to help me from the beginning? And this is one of the earlier resources that I go to, in addition to a couple commentaries.